All right. When you hear the word architect, what comes to mind? Probably blueprints for a skyscraper, right? Steel, glass, the whole deal. But what about the architects of our invisible world? The ones who design the massive cloud structures that power literally everything, from your Netflix binge to global finance? Well, in this explainer, we are pulling back the curtain on the role of the cloud architect. So let's get right to it. What does a cloud architect actually do? Because, it's so much more than just moving servers to the cloud. We're talking about designing the digital foundation that literally determines whether a modern business can compete, innovate, or, even survive.
This quote right here, it just nails it. A cloud architect isn't just building some digital warehouse to store stuff. No, they're engineering agility. They're creating systems that let a business pivot and innovate at the insane speed of the market.
Okay, so here's the textbook definition for you. They are the master planners of a company's cloud presence. Think about it. They're constantly juggling all these competing demands, like security, performance, reliability, and of course, cost, all to build a system that just works seamlessly. So what does it actually take to be this master planner? Well, it's not just one skill. It's a really powerful blend of a whole bunch of different areas of expertise. I mean, just look at this list. You have to be a systems designer, a security hawk, a network guru, and a financial strategist, all at the same time. That's the real challenge, right? A decision you make for cost reasons could totally impact security, and a little performance tweak might mess with reliability. The architect, they're the one who has to see the whole board.
And just like a building architect has their materials, concrete, steel, glass, a cloud architect has a fundamental toolkit too. So let's take a look at the basic building blocks they get to play with.
Okay, check this out. This table shows you the different levels of control an architect has. On one end, they can choose IaaS for raw computing power. That's kind of like buying an empty plot of land to build on from scratch. Or they could go all the way to the other end with SaaS, which is like moving into a fully furnished apartment. Every project is different, and the architect's job is to pick the right tool for that specific job.
And then there's the big question of where to build. Do you go all in on a public cloud like AWS? Or maybe your company needs a hybrid approach, keeping the super sensitive data on-premise while using the cloud for its flexibility. These aren't just little technical choices. We're talking about major strategic decisions that impact security, control, and of course, the bottom line.
So, you've got all these tools and models at your disposal. But how do you actually combine them to build something that's truly great? Well, it all comes down to 3 unshakable pillars of design.
First up, pillar number 1, unbreakable scalability. Can your system handle going from, say, 10 users to 10 million users overnight without even breaking a sweat? A viral product launch or a huge Black Friday sale can't be the thing that crashes your system. You absolutely have to build for success from day one.
And this is how they pull it off. These are not just buzzwords, okay? Auto-scaling means your system automatically calls for reinforcements when traffic spikes. And something like a message queue, it acts like a shock absorber for your application, making sure that sudden bursts of data don't cause a total system-wide failure. It's digital resilience in action, right there.
All right, next up, pillar 2, Fort Knox security. Look, in the cloud, security isn't just some feature you tack on at the end. It is the foundation. A great architect designs security into every single layer of the system, just like building a bank vault.
The key to all of this is a modern security philosophy called zero trust. It basically means you don't automatically trust anyone or anything, even if they're already inside your own network. You verify everything. And that single mindset shift, when you combine it with powerful tools for identity and encryption, creates a defense that is just truly formidable.
And finally, the third pillar, and this is a big one that can honestly make or break a company: smart cost optimization. See, it's not enough to build something powerful. It also has to be efficient. Because without a smart plan, the cloud can become a fire hose just spraying wasted money everywhere.
So, architects have a whole playbook to keep that spending under control. They might use cheaper spot instances for tasks that can be interrupted, or they might commit to long-term contracts that can slash compute costs by up to 70%. And a clear tagging strategy, that's absolutely non-negotiable. It's basically like itemizing a receipt, so you know exactly where every single dollar is going.
So, the question is, how do you manage all this complexity and do it consistently without human error creeping in? Well, you're not doing it by clicking a bunch of buttons in a web browser. Modern cloud architecture, it's built with code.
This brings us to a revolutionary concept called infrastructure as code,
or IAC. Just imagine your entire data center, I'm talking servers, networks, databases, the whole shebang, all defined in a simple text file. That file becomes your single source of truth. It's a blueprint that's version-controlled, totally shareable, and completely automated. It practically eliminates human error. And this, of course, brings up a classic architectural decision. Do you pick a tool like Terraform, which gives you the flexibility to work with any cloud provider you want, or do you go deep with a platform-specific tool like AWS CloudFormation to really leverage its tight integration? There's no single right answer here. The architect has to weigh the trade-offs based on the company's long-term strategy.
So after all that, you might be sitting there thinking, wow, this sounds incredible, but how does someone actually become a cloud architect? Well, the good news is there's a pretty clear path to mastery.
Here it is, a structured, 6-stage roadmap. You see, it starts with the fundamentals, then moves through certifications and getting that crucial hands-on tool experience, and then it progresses into the high-level design and strategy stuff. It's definitely a journey, but it's a very achievable one if you just follow the steps.
And this really brings us full circle, doesn't it? The technical skills, they're just the tools in the toolbox. The real goal, the true purpose of a great cloud architect, is to enable the entire business to be faster, more resilient, and ultimately way more innovative.
So in the end, a great architect really embodies this complete mindset. It's this powerful fusion of deep technical knowledge and sharp business acumen, and it's all driven by a relentless focus on security, scale, and efficiency.
And that really is the ultimate question. The role of the cloud architect isn't just about managing some servers somewhere. It's about designing the digital foundations of our future. So the only question left is, are you ready to start drawing the blueprints?